A girl raised by wolves? A deadly curse? Telepathic communication between animals and humans? All of that and more can be found in the film Princess Mononoke. The story follows Ashitaka as he travels with his red elk Yakul to try and lift a deadly curse put on him by a demon. There's wars, gods, and all the things I mentioned before. Throughout the course of the film, we get to know San, a human girl who was raised by wolves and is now Princess of the Spirits. Her actions kind of show her going back and forth between hating humans and kind of tolerating them. So here's me, an unqualified grade 11 student, telling you why she acts the way she does. And also some other stuff, because who doesn't love extra information? Okay, let's get started. As I mentioned earlier, San was raised by wolves. The effects this have on her are pretty obvious, but not nearly as much as would be the case in real life. Most things about her are accurate enough. She prefers the company of wolves over the company of humans, and she has her designated place in the pack. The things that are not accurate are: she walks normally instead of on all fours, she wears clothes, and she can speak properly. The clothes thing could be because this is a movie and they weren't going to have a naked character. And you could make the argument that the movie would be a lot worse if the two main characters couldn't communicate, but I think it would be really cool to see. A more realistic portrayal would show she is able to learn words, but because of her age, she would never be able to form proper sentences. San is 15 years old, and studies on feral children have shown that they are able to form sentences if found before puberty. After that point, they're able to learn individual words, but can't put them together. Like I just said, San is 15. As you might expect, this influences the way she acts throughout the film. Since she's a human that grew up with wolves, she doesn't really fit in with either group. Even if she prefers the company of wolves, there's always going to be a disconnect between them. According to Erik Erikson's Stages of Psychosocial Development, San's lack of a proper family in childhood hindered her ability to develop a proper sense of self. Erikson states that the teenage years are the point in a person's life when you figure out who you are. If, for whatever reason, this process is more complicated than it needs to be, the result can be an identity crisis. One example of these complications might be being taught by your wolf mom that all humans are bad, but never being able to fully accept that because you are a human. San automatically assumes that all humans are bad because that's what she's been taught all her life, but when she meets Ashitaka and realizes that's not true, she decides to help him. Her outlook on humans is not so fast to change, though, as she almost immediately goes to her mom and exclaims that she hates all humans.
You know, that boy wanted to share his life with you.
I hate him! I hate all humans.
Obviously that's not true, because if it was, she wouldn't have helped Ashitaka. This back and forth continues throughout the entire film, and in the end she decides to stay in the forest because that's where she feels more comfortable, but she no longer feels a strong resentment towards humans. Or at least towards Ashitaka.
Ashitaka, you mean so much to me, but I can't forgive the humans for what they've done.
I understand. You'll live in the forest, and I'll go help them rebuild Irontown. I'll always be near.
So far, I've been making this movie out to be a coming-of-age film about a girl raised by wolves, but that's not the case. So I'm going to talk about how groupthink plays a significant role in the rest of the story. Groupthink is the idea that a group of people will give the same answer to a question as their peers because of wanting to fit in with the group. The larger the group, the more an individual feels the need to conform. A great example of groupthink in this movie is the Boers. When they gather to fight the humans, they're just followers.
We are here to kill the humans and save the forest. Why are there humans here, Morrow?
Humans are everywhere these days. Go back to your own mountain. Kill them there.
We will kill them here. We will save this forest.
They don't allow themselves to think freely or decide if fighting the humans is the right thing to do, because in their minds, everyone else agreed to fight them, so it must be the right choice. They feel so secure in their justification that they are willing to die for it.
He won't listen. None of them will. They may even know it's a trap. The Boers are a proud race. The last one left alive will still be charging blindly forward.
And this isn't just because they were receiving orders from a leader. That leader thought he was making the right choice because none of the other boars told him otherwise. But probably the most literal example of groupthink in this movie is the apes. We never really find out that much about them, but they're basically just a telepathic hive mind.
Apes? How dare you show such disrespect to the Wolf Clan?
This is our forest.
The human, give him to us.
Give us the human and go.
If this video is your only reference, Princess Mononoke seems like a movie about a wolf girl having an identity crisis and lack of individuality within groups. Those things are present in the film, but it involves so much more than that, and you have no idea how much I wanted to turn this into a proper film analysis.